Shalom! We're going to make challah today, and we begin with our filtered water here. There's about 4 cups, and we're going to heat it up in the microwave with a little cover on there for 2 minutes. That'll just bring it to the right temperature. Some people say they like their water at 105, some at 110. The main thing is that when you put your finger in there, that it's hot to the touch for like 3 seconds. Then you take it out. I like to make my dough out of some freshly ground wheat. These are red winter wheat berries that you get from the bulk store, the health food store. These happen to be organic. And we put about 2 cups of them into this Vitamix that has a dry mix blade to it. And you grind this up. It's going to make a lot of noise at first until it's fine. Not too much because you don't want it to heat up. We're going to put in a little bit of sugar to feed the yeast. This should take about 10 minutes, about that much, teaspoon. And for this amount of water, I'd like to use 4 to 5 teaspoons of yeast. 2, 3, 4, yeah, until it's all nice and dissolved. Okay, so this should take about 10 minutes. When we grind the wheat, it should look just about like this in the grinder. And we're going to do this twice. And that's about the right amount. Here's a mixture of whole wheat to the commercial flour, the all-purpose flour. And of course, the more whole wheat that you put in, the more dense it's going to be, but the more nutritious. So we'll come back to you in a moment after our yeast cultivates and we get this other batch done. Waiting for our yeast, we can get our eggs and oil together here. You could use 2 eggs, 3 eggs. It's kind of up to you. We're going to save one of the yolks here. Just put the white in there for the first one. And later on, we're going to brush the top of the bread of the challah with this egg for the nice glazed finish on the top. And these other 3 we'll just put in there whole. Okay, and we're going to add the oil. So there are these increments over here, and about 1/2 to 1/3 of a cup of oil. And then, just going to mix it on low so it comes together. We are going to use, to begin with, about 8 cups of flour, about that much, and about 2 tablespoons of salt. I like to use kosher salt because it's tastier and because we're kosher. About this much, like a handful. And about a cup of sugar. You could use less. It's okay. Sweetens it up. And then we're going to put this dry mixture into the mixing bowl. And we're going to add some seeds here for some extra nutritional value. Here's some golden whole flaxseed, raw, unhulled sesame seeds, Very nice. Incorporate them a bit. Wet ingredients right into a well that you make in the center. Egg and oil incorporated together. Like this in here. And it should be like a kind of a thick soup. Yep. When this comes together, I'm going to put the dough hook on, connect it to the mixer, and then add the flour until the dough comes together. Turn it on low. That mix up for a minute. And then you just keep adding this a little bit at a time. When it gets incorporated into the mixture, then you add a little bit more until the dough all comes together. We'll see you in a minute. Welcome back. The dough has risen, but you should do at least one rising and then put it and let it rise in the pan again. So when you punch it down, you just do sort of like this. If there is some on the sides, you can just get all that off like this with the dough. And turn it out to the surface. And knead it some more. Together. And we're going to make 4 loaves here. You know, I have these bread pans over here, you see. And I'm going to coat them with this oil spray. Okay. Whew. Don't breathe that in. Okay, now you can braid your challah because most people think you should have braided challah. However, to make challah, you really have to take a piece and say this bracha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahafrish et hachallah min ha'isa. Blessed is the Lord who commanded us to separate the challah from the rest of the dough. We're going to put that in the oven and let it burn up. It's a remembrance, a symbol of the challah that we used to give to the Kohanim in temple times. Round it out and then roll it over like this. So you have a loaf. It's going to rise in the pan so it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. There we go, number 4. And now, I'm going to cover those things up again with that saran that we put aside. So we're going to cover this up with the towel once again and let it rise in the pan, and then we'll put it in the oven. See you in a little while. The rabbi went to go to shul to do the online service because social distancing, Anyways, the next step is you coat the breads with some egg yolk that's been beaten and then diluted a little bit with water, just a little bit of water. And so you take this brush here and you paint them up, and it kind of gives them the glazy finish when you bake them. And then you want to have your oven set to 325 degrees. And we're going to put it in there for 45 minutes. When you take your challah out of the oven, it should be 190 to 200 degrees. 200 degrees with a thermometer like that. And then we turn them out of the pans immediately so that they don't stick to the side. Lechem le'achol. challah for Shabbos, and bread for the week. B'teva.